Hey, what's going on? This is Justin here, back with another movie video. I am once again sitting in front of my movie collection, as you can see right here. I feel like this is a really cool looking shot, just kind of my floating head. And then this space over here, my wife and I are actually working on something to go on this part of the wall. And so that will look more filled, and we'll probably shoot a video on what's going there. And hopefully it looks cool as I envision it in my head. But we're getting all the pieces together, and yeah, I'll probably shoot a video for that. But for now, I'd like to talk about movies that I watch on certain holidays. And we recently had 3 holidays pass. Yesterday was April Fool's Day, and then before that we had Easter, and then before that we had St. Patrick's Day. So these are movies that I watch every year on these days, on these holidays, for my own dumb reasons. Starting with St. Patrick's Day, I watched The Fugitive solely for the purpose of the scene where Harrison Ford's Dr. Richard Kimball gets away from U.S. Marshal Sam Gerard. Is that his name? Yes. And by hiding in the St. Patty's Day parade, which takes place in downtown Chicago, he hides and he puts a green hat on, and then he gets away. And that's the only reason that I watched The Fugitive on St. Patrick's Day. I have it streaming, but I don't actually have a physical copy, which I need to get. And I know they recently released a 4K Blu-ray. So that's on my wish list. Every year on St. Patrick's Day, I watch The Fugitive so that Dr. Richard Kimball gets away in the St. Patty's Day parade. And then we had Easter. This is another dumb reason why I watch this particular movie every Easter. But it's not the Ten Commandments. It's not Hop, but it's Nacho Libre. And I don't think I'm in the minority here. I feel like this movie has sort of gained a cult following, and I see memes all the time about this movie, and particularly, that's a mouthful, on Easter. And it's because there's a scene in there where one of the characters says,
"Do you not realize I have had diarrhea since Easter's?"
And every Easter I draw that scene. And I put it on my Instagram. So I try to do a different version each time, but I draw the same scene. And it's this guy. And this year I did this with acrylic paint. So this was the version for 2024. Man, that movie's good. It's so quotable. It moves really fast. So many great scenes. The comedy is perfect. Jack Black is amazing. So I watched Nacho Libre on Easters. Yesterday was April Fool's Day, and I watched April Fool's Day. This was a recommendation from the In Search of Darkness documentaries, where they talk about all the different 80s horror movies. And this one was high up there. This was in 1986. Okay. It's a slasher, and it's got Tom Wilson, who plays Biff Tannen in my favorite movie of all times, Back to the Future.
Hello? Anybody home, Justin? Huh?
This is, a no-brainer. April Fool's Day on April Fool's Day. So if you haven't seen this is a really good watch. Check it out. So let's talk about other holidays. Every Groundhog's Day, it's pretty obvious I watch Groundhog's Day. I only have a DVD. I don't have a 4K Blu-ray, but this is good. And I also have it on streaming. Let's talk about Thanksgiving, Halloween, and Christmas. Wait, scratch that. Reverse the first two. Halloween, then Thanksgiving, then Christmas. The most obvious movies I feel like to watch on Christmas and Halloween. Thanksgiving doesn't really have a lot of movies, but I found some gems that I really enjoy. So let's start with October. Halloween. I watched Halloween. This is the 4K by Scream Factory, which came out. Not to be too cliche, I have alternative movies that you can watch on these holidays. The alternative that I watch for Halloween is actually, and this movie has been talked about most recently because it's getting remade, and also it's the 30th anniversary, I believe, this year. So this movie's kind of been in the cinema landscape lately in terms of being talked about. But it is The Crow, starring the late Brandon Lee, directed wonderfully by Alex Proyas. And, it's the adaptation of the James O'Barr book. I love this movie. It might have my favorite Ernie Hudson performance outside of Ghostbusters. This doesn't take place on Halloween necessarily, but the main characters, they get married on Devil's Night, which is the night before Halloween, October 30th. And then everything sort of sets in motion through Halloween and stuff. But this is a fantastic film. It's getting rebooted with Bill Skarsgård, and it's been in production hell. There's footage out there of Jason Momoa in the makeup. The director, Alex Proyas, had an interesting take on the reboot, which was that it shouldn't be made. The actor Brandon Lee died making this movie, so it's his legacy, and it probably should stay that way. But they have made Crow sequels before, but this is like officially a Crow reboot. And I saw the trailer, I saw the look, and I don't know, it looks whatever. I have this movie, so I do think I am going to upgrade this. I want the 4K Steelbook, but I think it's sold out in terms of pre-orders. 30 years old. The Crow. All right, so moving right along to Thanksgiving. I feel like there's not that many options for Thanksgiving. Recently, Eli Roth made a really great Thanksgiving movie called Thanksgiving, which is a horror slasher, which I would like to get. But it's only out on Blu-ray, and I have a feeling that there's like some 4K special thing coming out soon. So I'm going to wait and see what's going to happen. But if anything, I could watch it on Netflix because it's streaming there right now. As far as Thanksgiving movies go, I feel like the ultimate Thanksgiving movie is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. This also works as a Christmas movie. Yeah, Steve Martin's character, Neil, he's trying to get home in time for Thanksgiving, and then he runs into the great John Candy's character, Del Griffith. And they go on adventures on planes, trains, and automobiles. Yeah, this is a great film. The alternative one for that is I have here Home for the Holidays, starring Holly Hunter, and it's directed by Jodie Foster. And it has an all-star cast with Anne Bancroft, a really great RDJ performance. And this is like a really good family Thanksgiving film. It's really funny. There's a lot of chaos and family drama that feels very relatable. I feel like it aged really well. So that was Thanksgiving. My favorite movie to watch during Christmas is obviously Die Hard. I think it's a Christmas movie. I don't want to get into the whole debate, whatever. When I was in college, I had a friend whose favorite movie was Die Hard, and he would watch it like every Christmas. And so I sort of through proxy adapted that. And I still watch Die Hard every Christmas. It's like one of the best action movies of all time. I mean, what a debut for Alan Rickman and, Bruce Willis, star-making performance. And yeah, this is like the best of the bunch. It has sequels. They're not as good, but this one's a banger. Still is. And it's a great Christmas movie. The alternative, and I've been watching this more and more, is The Night Before, starring Seth Rogen, Anthony Mackie, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, directed by Jonathan Levine. He directed 50-50 as well. I like this. It's sort of a really interesting take on A Christmas Carol. It's about three friends. It's really funny. There's a really good performance in here by Michael Shannon, who plays their weed dealer, Mr. Green. It's just super funny. And it's a really good Christmas stuff. Really great cast. Supporting cast with, what's her name? Mindy Kaling and Lizzie Kaplan. Jillian Bell is in this as well. I've been watching this more and more every Christmas. So those are my picks for movies that I watch on holidays. Let me know in the comments below what are some of your favorite movies to watch during the holiday season. Do you have any weird movies that you watch on specific days, like me and Nacho Libre every Easter? But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you on the next. Multiple takes. Here we go. Take 45.